Well, hey everyone, hey everyone, it's 7 done with 7, and we're gonna get going here in just a second. I'm just going to get my camera set up and everything here. I had to make sure that I'm gonna be in the frame here. And if you're joining me right now, this is the live unboxing of the Hobby King Bonanza. Really, really cool airplane. I'll get into that in just a moment. I'm just gonna bring up on my iPad here my channel so I can actually see what's going on. Hang on just a second, guys. Thanks for joining me. If you guys are joining me live right now, thank you for being here. And also, just give me a quick notice that my audio is working. I just put a new battery into the little thingy here, and I want to make sure that it is working. Oh, I can hear myself, so actually we're okay. So let me just mute this. And if you guys have any comments, any live comments, just let me know, and I will bring those up as we are doing a live chat here. Hang on just a second. Sorry, guys. Let's see what happens if I flip this here. And how can we, oh, there's the chat right there. So anyway, guys, good morning. I'm just going to go over a few things here, then we'll get into the unboxing. This weekend is the Super G, which is the drift track up in Baldwin Park. It's a Super G 4-year anniversary bash. It's happening on Friday and Saturday. I'm going to be drifting in that event. I'm going to do a 2-man tandem competition, which means we're 2 men on the same team. We're trying to basically do a mimicking run on the track. I'll be using this Evo body because my buddy has an Evo body as well. Shout out to my buddy Max Wilkinson. This should be pretty fun. So the first prize for that is $100, which should be pretty sweet. The next day on Saturday evening is going to be their Tweezo competitions, which just means it's a battle. So it's basically a winner takes all, and the first prize for that is $400. Second prize is $200, and third prize is $100, which is going to be pretty awesome. Thanks to Steve Fujita, I think is how you say your last name, and Joey Tam for putting that on. It's going to be a ton of work. It's going to be a ton of people there, and I really can't wait for it. So if you guys are in the area and you want to head down to Super G in Baldwin Park, I'll be there, and I will have some of my new wheel stickers there. So if anyone needs any of the wheel stickers, let me know. I'll try and give out as many as I can until I don't have any more. So, all right, let's take a quick peek here. So I'm just going to move the car aside so we can take a look at the Bonanza. So a little bit about the Bonanza, guys, is that, hang on just a second. I need to turn off my Wi-Fi on this here. Hang on a second. Settings, Wi-Fi, turn it off. Yeah, the business Wi-Fi here in my office is super slow, so I can't have it running while I do live streams here. Okay, so anyway, about the Bonanza. Now, this has a real special place in my heart because when I was a kid, I was making like the 6-foot wingspan gliders, like the Gentle Lady, and I think I made a Bird of Time as well. One of the other kits that I bought and I paid for when I was a kid, like I was like 12, was a Bonanza, and it had actually a prop on it, and it was made to be kind of like a tissue paper and balsa kit. I made one of these, and I decided to convert it to rubber band power. I didn't even think that the rubber band was going to power it very much, but I wanted it for the scale look. So I put all the ribs down, I put the tissue paper on it, and all that stuff. It's back in the era of dope, which is glue, so it's pretty cool. So anyway, let's get into the Bonanza here. I'm gonna grab this is my old Spyderco knife. I've had this for about oh my god, I've had it for about like 25 years. It's really cool. It's a really tiny Spyderco pocket knife. I put it in an ultrasonic, so the ultrasonic accidentally, I left it in too long and it ate away some of the aluminum, so it actually has a really cool look. And then I polished it afterwards. One of my favorite knives that I have is very utilitarian, so thank you to Hobby King for getting this out to me so quickly. Now, as you guys know, sometimes I do get sponsored kits in the mail from Hobby King. I didn't ask them for this model. I went ahead and purchased this one. It's actually a fairly inexpensive model. It's a plug and fly, so I'm going to use my own receiver, and it should be pretty much already built with the servos already in it and everything, which is very exciting to me because as I get older, I find I have a lot less and less time for doing my hobbies. So anything that's going to get me closer to flying from the box is really a pretty big plus in my mind. So, and as we go along, guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and type them down in the comments. I see guys' comments coming up on my iPad here, so I will be able to check out your comments as we go. Let's take a quick peek here. So on the end, I have a little piece of paper there, and I believe this is double boxed, so that's pretty cool. Let's put this down on the ground over there. So here we go. Here's the Durafly Bonanza. Throw it and show it. That's a pretty funny logo. So I've seen some of my other friends review this. Some of the guys on YouTube, and they've Dutch RC and John HVRC, I think, and Motion RC, I think. Those guys reviewed this. They liked it a lot. One of the guys used a 2200 milliamp pack in here instead of a 1500, and he said it just flew terribly. That was his first experience with it. What I noticed also when the guys were maintaining this airplane is that it has a lot of left torque roll as you throw it, so you guys have to be really careful for that. I'm going to be using one of my Lemon stabilizing receivers so that when I throw it, it basically tunes out all that torque roll. I hate dealing with torque roll, so let me go ahead and get this thing open. We'll do the unboxing. My knife, here we go. From my experience, Durafly always does a really great job in doing custom packaging for all of their airplanes. I've got the Durafly Slowpoke right there. I've got the Sidewinder up there. I've had a lot of Durafly airplanes. Right up here, I've got the Trojan T28. I'm a big fan of Durafly. So I'm going to go ahead and take the box off here. There's a close-up look. Like I said, guys, this model has a special place in my heart because I made one of these, you know, rib by rib, glue joint by glue joint, spar by spar when I was a kid. So I'm going to be really happy to fly this one. And from what I've seen on the videos on YouTube is that they're pretty darn sporty. Even though this airplane was considered the doctor killer because so many doctors back in the day when these were first flying, a lot of doctors flew them and a lot of doctors crashed them as well. Not a very good reputation you want to have. So here is the side tanks that go on the very end of the wings here. I'm going to go ahead and open these up here. This is the patent pending Jeff Yang 7 Demo 7 package opening solution here. So if you ever have a package, you just take your thumb and your fingernail here and you kind of pinch them together like scissors, and then you just grab it and then you zip it across and it opens up the end of all your packages. So these are painted really nice. It says Bonanza on the side. I would love to fly the airplane with these on there. I know some people prefer not to. But here we go. This is the packaging. I just pulled those little tanks out of here. Let's go ahead and pull out the wing here. Here's the right wing. And the left wing. And as I was mentioning before, the servos are already installed. So let me go ahead and take out all the contents here, and then we'll go over everything bag by bag. There's the tail, and here are some of the extra accessories in here. And no instruction manual. I think they have a manual online if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not sure on that. So let's see here. See how that makes a nice clean cut there. That way you don't have to break out your knife and your scissors every time you want to open a package. One of the reviewers said to be careful of the decals because they're the water transfer style. On his canopy, because this is curved, it had a tendency to kind of break off. One of the cool things I didn't know about this airplane is it has this little extra tab right here, which is interesting why they have that there. I don't know if it's for extra aileron control or if that's in the scale model or what. But here's where the metal spar center goes into. There's your lead, your servo lead, and a nice, nicely molded servo protector here with the horn protector here. This way, if you're belly landing it like you do have to, you're not breaking off your servo horn. And all the Durafly models, including my Trojan and the Durafly, they're all coming with the ball links, which are much more secure, they definitely have a lot less play in them than a standard connection here. And this one's actually a full one instead of it just being like, it's just coated all over the top of the ball link here, which is very interesting. Okay, so let's get the other one out here, and we will just unpackage everything. Audio is good. Thanks, Keith Billings. AXFPV Alex, what's up, man? My man. Stuart Sutherland. Stuart's always there for me. He says, "Hey, Jeff." He always follows my stuff and always comments. I really appreciate it, Stuart. Chai Sty, what's up, y'all? I know a lot of you guys are like, I'm pretty happy that I'm getting back into airplanes. I just had a flight the other morning. The Evo, the Phoenix Evolution. It's like a 102-inch wingspan. That is a great airplane. Lots of fun. It's a big fan of Andrew Newton's, if you guys know Andrew Newton. Okay, let's pull out the tail real quick. Here's the T-tail. If you guys don't know, I love T-tails. I love the way they handle. I love the way the rudder is actually quite authoritative on T-tails, V-tails. There's too many letters. Stuart Sutherland, cracking little airplane. Look forward to the maiden. I ordered mine on Tuesday. I can't wait. Newport Oz, how you doing, buddy? Use lemons for hand launch sport planes as well. Yeah. The cool thing about the Lemon RX, if you have a DX8 or higher on the Spectrum radios, is that you can control the amount of stabilization that you want, and it doesn't self-stabilize. It just is a reactive stabilizer. You can turn it up or down on your channel 5, and also you can turn it on or off as well. So what I usually do is I actually launch with the stabilizer on. When I get it up in the air, I just turn it off or turn the stabilizer way down so it's not interfering with what I'm flying in. I like to get the plane tuned without it on, so I'll turn it off. I'll get everything, I'll get the airplane trimmed out and everything. So that's the nice thing about the Lemon RX is that you can turn off what you need to turn off or turn it down. This is the little accessories pack here. There's not a lot going on to it. This is the little front end of the wings, the little male part that goes into the fuselage. You have to glue this on. One thing to mention is that they do not include any glue with this, so you're going to use U-Pour or possibly CA if it's okay with the foam. This is the bottom skid, so when you're belly landing, you don't tear up your foam. You can always put this on or some packing tape. This looks like it's pretty nice. It's nicely painted to match everything. Looks like we're going to need to put on 2 of the control rods, probably for the tail, I'm guessing. Yes, probably from the tail, because the servos are in the fuselage and then it extends out to the V-tail here. So we have 2 control rods, and this is a close-up of those control rods here. You can see that it's a full cup instead of it just being just around the outside of the ball, which is interesting. They're evolving as we go. This is the rear part of the wing, that the wing support that so that it doesn't dig into your foam. We have a little a Y cable for your front servos, for your ailerons. We have the 2 bolts for the wings. These are the 2 bolts that are going to go in the rear of the wing that are going to be mated to the wing joiner here. And this is the metal spar, which is pretty small, but I have a feeling that most of you guys that are going to be making this airplane, a lot of people can actually glue the wings together and or glue the wings to the bottom of the fuselage, and that wouldn't be very good if you need to replace a servo, but I'm gonna not glue that in the beginning, just to make sure that everything is good. All right, like I said, I like an airplane that's pretty much almost ready to go out of the box. I don't like dealing with servos anymore. I like to just have something pretty much ready to go, and here we go. Here's the front end spinner, and what size prop is this? It's the size of the prop is covered over, so that looks like about 6 inches, maybe a 6x5. I see the X5 E prop, so this is actually, is this an actual APC prop? It might be. But I love the lines of the Bonanza. It's a really nice looking airplane. Here's the V-tail servos right here. Here's where the V-tail is going to sit into here. It's going to basically be like that. So like I said, you do need to glue the tail into place. It's such a tight fit that it actually stays right on. It's gonna look about like that. And let's take a look inside the hatch here. All right, so like I was saying, the front stickers here, you want to be very careful about not accidentally lifting those off. I may actually go ahead and just put some laminate over the top of this because I don't like those window stickers coming off. So I probably will do some laminate as we go along here. Now the recommended battery size for this is 13 to 1500 milliamp. Goes right inside this nice battery tray, and there's actually some nice non-slip foam down here that you can kind of put your fingernail into. So that's pretty good. That's a really a nice way of doing it. In my Slowpoke, they actually didn't have any battery tray. It was hard to get the battery in and out, so this is going to be a nice addition. They've got the battery tray here. It's made by Durafly, the little battery strap here. XT60 connector, going to a 20 amp ESC in here. This is a very low power airplane, even though on 3S it's quite fast. But seems like the 20 amp ESC has been pretty adequate at this point. So here's both of your, here's your elevator and rudder leads here. So this is going to be combined. You have to do your mixing in your radio, or in my case on the Lemon RX, it's going to be mixed in the receiver. So I just plug the elevator into the elevator and the rudder into the rudder, and then I use the toggle to get my mixing going. So I don't do any of the mixing in my radio, which is kind of cool. All right, so there is the Bonanza. Here's the bottom side of the wings here. Like I said, there's the two little holes where the front of the wing cap is going to go into. You know, direct all of your servo leads from your wings in through here. And the two bolts that go into the very corners of this slot here. Here's your vent holes here, so keep air flowing through your fuselage. And let me pick that back up. All right, so looks pretty cool. Let's go ahead and just put the wings on real quick and just see what it's going to look like. The foam feels great, guys, as it normally does for Durafly airplanes. And this is a nice tight canopy. I like that. Let's put the spar in here. Nice metal spar, actually. So whenever I get an airplane in, I like to share it with you guys because you know, when one of us gets an airplane, we all get an airplane, don't we? All right, let's take a quick peek here. Just gonna pop these servo leads up to the bottom of the fuselage here. This will give you guys a good idea of what the whole airplane is going to look like. It's got a nice little bit of dihedral in here. So I've had one other experience with an airplane similar to this, which was the Ready-Made RC Mooney, the one that looks like a Mooney. I forget what they call that one, but I took that one to Flight Fest West, and it was the only plane I've ever not been able to get to fly. It was, I think I might have had too large of a battery pack inside of it, but it looks very similar to this airplane. It's got, if you guys know that, it kind of has the reverse tail in the back. It doesn't have the V tail, but it has a very similar layout to this airplane. So that makes it a little scary for me. Actually, we had Ben Harbour as well. He was there at Flight Fest. He said, "Well, let me try and fly that thing. I think I can get it to fly." He couldn't get it to fly either. It was just terrible. So I think like I said, I think the bad part about that is I did have a battery pack that might have been too big for this airplane. So this one, like I was saying, guys, it's going to take 3S, 1300 to a 1500. I have some of the 1300 tattoo batteries that we're going to use for this thing. But this is a great looking airplane. What do you guys think? It's really pretty cool. I can see the little tiny motor mount in there. It is a pretty small motor, but this is a very lightweight airplane. You know, it has no landing gear, so you don't have that extra weight and extra weight to throw around. But I should have this up and flying at Kite Hill pretty soon. I'll get my receiver into it, and I will actually have like a full sized regular video, not a live video, how to build this thing and get it all set up and everything. So let me just take a quick peek at you guys, your comments here. Okay, so I left off on Newport, Oz. Yep. Let's see, Flutter Lump Goose the third. P83, I would have loved to have with FPV, but 5 minutes, it's such a little time. Yeah, that is true. SD Crawler, what's up, Jeff? See you Saturday. That's right. SD Crawler, he's Jose. He drifts along with me. He comes up from San Diego, and he's going to be coming up to the bash on up at Super G. Joe Barnett, how are you doing? She's always great to comment on my videos. Stuart Sutherland, nice to see you. You still have the Wingnetic. Yeah, I do still have the Wingnetic. Great airplane. Once you get the CG on the airplane right, it is a blast to fly. That airplane, the Wingnetic, was one of the airplanes that had the reputation in my fleet of the one airplane that I had never crashed. But then the day I did crash it, it was pretty bad. I had to replace the whole nose cone section, but for the longest time it had been uncrashed, which is great. Let's see here. Be careful with the foam links on the ailerons. My slowpoke came down because I lost an aileron mid-flight. That was Wolfgang Rumpel. Okay, I will do that. And actually, on the Durfly slowpoke, it actually has a bead of glue already on the aileron, so I will check to make sure that those are not breaking. Thank you so much, Wolfgang. Joe Barnett says, all problems with torque roll, throw hard. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is kind of a weird airplane to grip because you're gripping it so far behind the CG. So sometimes when you're gripping behind the CG, it has a tendency to nose down. But everyone I've seen that's thrown this thing, even if they've thrown it themselves kind of underhand like this, or if someone else is throwing it with their finger on the very back of the airplane, it's always immediately went like this, and then the person had to correct pretty hard and then get it up into the air. So that's making me a little bit nervous. Did you put kill marks on your mini drac? That's funny. No, that is actually just my signature on one side, and the stripes are just the stripes that I've had there. That is funny because the mini drac did kill a flight test arrow at Flight Fest West, and that careened my mini drac into an old man who was using a cane and knocked him over. But he was totally cool, so it didn't hurt him. Actually, it didn't hit him. It actually came really close to him, but I had been throttled off, and the fuselage had lost both of his wings at that point. So, but yeah, I cut a flight test mini arrow, which is that airplane right there. I cut one of those in half with my mini drac. So I should only have one kill mark. I should put kill marks on my mini drac. That's hilarious. SD Crawler says Saturday is pretty cool. Too bad I don't know how to fly. That's hilarious. Dutch RC, how you doing, buddy? Fly down on 1300 3S up to 12 minutes of flight time, so that is really enough. Do have someone else throw it for you the first time. I will do that, Dutch RC. If you guys don't know Dutch RC, he has one of the biggest YouTube channels out there. He has one of the coolest accents out there, a Dutch accent, I'm guessing. But I've followed his channel for years, so if you guys haven't seen Dutch RC yet, look up Dutch RC on YouTube, and he will point you in the right direction. SD Crawler says that plane stupid autocorrect. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means. Wolfgang Rumpel, maybe a basic small gyro will help against the rolling. Yeah, so if you guys don't know, and I mentioned this earlier already, but I do use a Lemon RX, which has a built-in stabilizer in it. Like I said, there's no mode on it that'll self-stabilize your airplane, meaning if you let go of the sticks while it's banked over, it doesn't self-correct itself. It does respond to outside influences like torque roll, crosswinds, pitch elevator differences. So I like it because it's really minimal. You can turn it all the way from all the way down to all the way up on a DX8 or higher, and you can turn it off on the channel 5 switch on or off, which is fantastic. So that you can get an airplane up in the air, get it high enough, and then turn off the stabilizer and fly it around to make sure that you trim out your airplane properly. Then turn it back on. I turn it on when I land and also when I take off. And those are the two times where you're going to have the most damage to your airplanes: a failed takeoff or a failed landing. So I can land all day long without a stabilizer, but I fly up at Kite Hill. It's got a super small landing area, as you guys know. I remind you guys incessantly. But it's a great way to not damage your airplanes. I'd rather not damage my airplanes. I'm not into building that much anymore. I used to be, and I'm not that much into repairing either, because I want to have the best performing airplane with the least amount of damage all the time. So the Lemon does that for me. Like I said, the option to turn that off mid-flight is great. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to be doing the drift competition Friday and Saturday of this week over at Super G. All my new drifting friends, thank you so much for joining my channel, even though this is a live unboxing of an airplane. But I am going to be out doing my drifting this weekend. And also remember, guys, I will be putting this up on my 7Demo7 page, my 7Demo7 forums page, and also on my regular page on Facebook, just Jeff Yang. November 3rd, we're having a airplane swap meet. So my Slowpoke, my T-28, my HD wing, my Sonic model wing, all those are going to be for sale. I also have my my Fun Cub I'm going to be selling, my mini UAV, the Mini Talon is going to be up for sale. I have a Spitfire I'm going to be selling. So a lot of these airplanes I'm going to be selling. I'm never going to sell my Drac. And I'm going to be building a second Drac coming up really soon. What else am I going to sell? I will probably sell the Arrow as well, which has the custom paint job on it. Also, if you guys can see right over there, I have a Sidewinder that Hobby King sent me, and they meant to send me the one that was plug and fly, and instead they sent me a kit only. So at some point I'm going to raffle that off on my channel. So I think you guys would just mainly have to pay for shipping. So anything else that I'm going to be selling here? Yeah, I'm gonna pretty much get rid of as many airplanes as I can, because a man can only have so many airplanes, and I'm gonna need room for more airplanes like the Bonanza coming up pretty soon. All right, let me just take a quick look at your guys' last bit of comments here, and then we'll wrap this up. Thank you so much to everyone who is joining me right now. It's really nice that you guys have spent your morning or your evenings with me, wherever you are in the world. Okay, actually, no more comments, except for somebody who's writing in Russian. Hello, your drift car is very nice. Is it a Mitsubishi Evo? What do you think of buying an MST 01D? My Russian friend, if you are getting into drift, the MSTs, I believe, are pretty good. Make sure that you, I wouldn't recommend all-wheel drive at this point, because all-wheel drive is kind of on its way out. No one hardly ever does it anymore. In fact, in the world competitions, they're actually eliminating all-wheel drive now, because rear-wheel drive is such a huge force in the hobby right now. It's more scale, you have way more control. And all-wheel drive is considered more of a power sliding thing. Let me just show you guys my Evo real quick. This is just, I've had this body for a long time, but I'm just now going to be using it for the drift competition, because my other friend has an Evo, and since we're doing a tandem competition, we want to look somewhat similar. So this chassis here is the Yd2 Sx frame, and let me just pull the body off here. So this is actually a body that was given to me, and because I didn't like the purple paint job, I went ahead and sprayed Plastidip on the outside. So if I want to change the paint job again, I can just peel it off and then paint it a different color. But it has light buckets in it also. I'm going to be adding a light kit to it pretty soon. I just painted the rear tail lights last night. But this is basically the layout of basically a basic two-wheel drive drift car. I basically have all metal components up front here. I've got the new SX steering here. You guys will see that the steering it's got tons of angle here, so when you're sliding sideways you can still roll. I have a long shock set up in the front, drift specific servo. I've got the V3 Yokomo gyro, the D1 motor setup here with the ESC, the BL ESC, which mates really well to the 10.5 Yokomo motor. Yeah, so anyway, one of the reasons why the drifting is so exciting for me is it's very similar to FPV and also flying with your friends. You want to be driving with your buddies. It's super high precision as far as like when you're drifting next to somebody. There's so many things that are going on. There's so many things that go along with your tuning, your suspension, spring rate, the tire angle. You know, we're adjusting the camber and caster of everything. It takes such a lot of focus to get a car to drift well, and also to be able to trust the person that you're drifting with. It's just a lot of fun to be able to do that, and to be able to get to a high level is pretty cool as well. So anyway, thanks for the drifting question, because drifting is becoming a big part of my life, and I don't think I'm going to stop it anytime soon. So I appreciate all my drift fans that are out there. It's been pretty cool. I just got the new tire stickers that I've been giving out to people. So I will be doing a second reprint of those pretty soon. Stuart Sutherland will be live. Will the Maiden be live? I will be doing a live Maiden on this. I just got my camera gear back together, and I have my head mount, which is always an attractive proposition. That Lancer body looks good. I can't wait to see it with the lights. Yeah, I need to get a set of lights from somewhere. I don't have any cheap ones. I usually get the cheap ones off of eBay, just the ones I have. Usually a headlight, a blue light, and then some tail lights. I usually like to get a simple system. They're like $10, but I don't have any in stock right now, so I can't put. And all the bodies that I could steal lights from them, they're in somebody else's hands right now. So anyway, all right, guys. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you guys are heading up to Super G this weekend, I'll see you there. And I appreciate everyone being here. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna have to switch this around here. Bye, everyone.